today. So glad that you could join us. I see there are a lot of people out there in our audience already. Hey guys, this is Facebook Live. I know we have people coming in from all over the world. So please let us know that you're here. Just type down in the comments below, say, hi, this is George from Atlanta. This is Sarah from San Antonio, or this is Mary in Mexico. Wherever you're from, please let us know that you're here. Just go ahead and put a comment down below. I'm Gina Carr. I'm going to be your host today for this episode of our BitMinutes TV, and I'm just thrilled to be here. So I see there's a lot of people out there. Let me know that you're here. Just put your comments down there below. We're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to love my guest today. If you like talking about cryptos and blockchain, you are going to have a blast because we are going to talk about some exciting new technologies that you may not have even heard of. You may not even know what's out there. So put your comments down below and share this. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. Just click that share button, share it back to your homepage, or share it to a group that you know would enjoy learning about this information. Again, we're going to obviously be talking about blockchain and cryptos, and we have a marvelous guest on for this very first ever episode of Women for a Better World, which is sponsored by BitMinutes. So we're going to get started with the formal program just a second here. Just want a few more people to come on in. Hey, you guys, thanks so much for coming on in and let me know that you're here. All right, Atlanta in the house. Dimitri from New York. That's George. Let's see. We've got Dimitri. Go BitMinutes. Susan Rowan. So excited to see Susan out there. Susan introduced me to our guest today, which is just fantastic because we saw that we knew each other. You know, the magic of Twitter. People say Twitter doesn't work anymore. Well, sometimes it does. So let's get right to it here. You know, most of us dream of being involved in something really big, something that truly can make the world a better place. And that's what we're doing here at BitMinutes. Today, I am just so thrilled to launch the formal initiative of the Women for a Better World. And this is because BitMinutes, the technology behind this show, the technology behind the company BitMinutes, which is going to be really transforming the world. It's so exciting because they're going to be able to let people like, you know, a mom in Mozambique, she's going to be able to access credit, access cash for the first time that she hasn't been able to do before. She's going to be able to access the money that's been sitting in her cell phone, these cash minutes. You know, in the developing world, a lot of times we have monthly payments and we don't do these top ups and prepaid. We don't have all this money tied up in our cell phones, but in the developing world, they do. And BitMinutes is going to help that mom in Mozambique or mom in Mexico or wherever, Mumbai, to access that cash that's tied up in her phone to use for her business so that she can get more material for her handbags that she sells on the street corner. It's really exciting to be part of this. And I know we are going to be able to lift millions of people, maybe billions, up out of poverty around the world. And part of this initiative is we want to see 1 million women's success stories in the next few years of the people that we've helped. And then another part of it is bringing influencers and brilliant people like my guest today on so that you can learn from her about other companies that are doing really exciting things. So I'm bringing Rachel on. You're going to see her in just a second here. Let me just tell you a little bit about Rachel. Rachel is an entrepreneur and a technology journalist. She's based in San Francisco, California. She earned her BA in English and Government at the University of Texas at Austin. Hey, you Austin people, Texas people, let me know out there. And she received a master's degree in security and diplomacy from Tel Aviv University. I think that says you don't mess with Rachel for sure. She's a degree in security and diplomacy. She spent 4 years living in Tel Aviv. She was working as a technology writer and also helping startups raise capital. After moving to San Francisco to pursue her writing career, it has taken off. She's a journalist. She writes for Forbes, Huffington Post, Bitcoin Magazine, the Merkle, and other publications. You might have heard her. She's a recent addition to the Bad Crypto podcast that Joel Comm and Travis Wright have started. And she and her co-host there are the Bad Crypto Chicks. She's been listed. If you see a list about who's who in blockchain and technology right now, I think you're going to see Rachel Wolfson's name on it, including one in Entrepreneur Magazine. And I've seen her on several other lists. So Rachel, with that, thank you so much. Come on board and tell us, what's your story? How did you get into blockchain? And, you know, why did this field excite you?
Yeah. So first off, thank you so much for the kind introduction, Gina. I really appreciate that. And, it's a great space to be in. I'm very happy to be a journalist for blockchain and crypto. So anyways, I got started a few years ago. I was presented with, I met a company who was doing something in the blockchain space. And I was reading about blockchain, and I was listening to their story, and I was like, this is really interesting. It's a new technology. I don't know much about blockchain, but I think I want to write an article about it. So I decided to do that, and I published that on Huffington Post. I think it was about a year and a half ago. It could have been 2 years ago. And people read it, and they started reaching out to me. Well, different people started reaching out to me, and they wanted to know more about blockchain. Some people were telling me about their companies, what they were doing with blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. And it was fascinating. And I just started writing about it more and catching on. And since Huffington Post, I've come on with, I'm a contributing writer for Forbes. I'm a staff writer for Bitcoin Magazine. I'm a writer for the Merkle. So basically everything grew out of Huffington Post about a year and a half or 2 years ago with just one article on blockchain.
Boy, isn't that something? And that should be an inspiration to many of you who are saying, hey, could I make a difference? Could I, do something in this field that I'm really interested in and passionate about? A lot of the people that are watching, some of them are probably real blockchain experts and probably are writing white papers on it and, real high level, but some of them probably don't know a lot about blockchain. How would you explain blockchain to an 80-year-old grandmother?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I get that question a lot. So basically, the way I explain blockchain is I start off by saying it's a distributed ledger based on trust. So for those of you who don't really understand what that means, if you want to contextualize it, you can kind of picture a room full of people. Everyone in that room has computers because the blockchain runs on computing power. And these people are located, they can be in one room or just basically located across the world. And they're sharing information on this ledger based completely on trust. It's peer-to-peer, it's decentralized, meaning there's no central authority. And basically what the blockchain does is it allows information to be shared online on this decentralized network. So it's very transformative. It can be used for a number of transactions within a number of industries. It's not just used to power cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, but it's also used now in the real estate industry. It's being used in the movie industry. Gamers are using it. So there's a lot of potential for blockchain technology.
Great. Well, that's a great explanation. That really makes a lot of sense. How about cryptocurrencies? I mean, some people don't understand cryptocurrencies. Do you have a simple explanation for crypto as well?
Yeah, so cryptocurrency, so blockchain technology powers cryptocurrencies. So basically, there are about 1,500 cryptocurrencies out there in creation right now. The top three are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I think Ripple are the top three. So Bitcoin is the most well-known. And basically what cryptocurrencies, they have the potential to be used to break some boundaries, like cross-border transactions are now possible with cryptocurrencies. It's peer-to-peer, so no banks are needed when it comes to transactions with cryptocurrencies. And then a lot of people right now are using cryptocurrencies as investments. So basically, if they have Bitcoin, they tend to hold on to that because the volatility of Bitcoin goes up and down. One day, Bitcoin can be $20,000 like it was close to that in December of last year. And, the next day it can be like $3,000. So it's an investment, but it's also a unit of exchange, which is the potential that we're seeing right now with crypto.
Great.
But it's digital money, basically.
Yeah, digital money. I'm definitely one of those hodlers. I'm holding on. I bought my first crypto. It was under 300, and that's pretty exciting. But unfortunately, I bought and sold. So I don't have all that. But I definitely believe in holding. I think it's I think several cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin Core, but several are going to the moon, as they say.
Yes.
So, hey, you guys, I want to know, put in the comments below, are you a hodler or do you use cryptocurrencies on a day-to-day basis? Put that in the comments below. Let us know. And also, if you have questions for Rachel, I mean, it's not every day that you get front row seats to one of the best crypto and blockchain experts in the entire world. I mean, her articles are read everywhere. So put your questions down below, and this is your time to ask. Rachel, BitMinutes is really committed to this making the world a better place and is really focused on women. And that's why we've started this series, the Women for a Better World Initiative. And with that, I know that we're not the only ones who are doing great things for the world. We're excited about what we're doing, but I've seen some of your articles and I've heard some of your interviews. Tell me about some other projects that are exciting you, projects that where, they're using blockchain technology to make the world a better place.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the most exciting projects, and it's a pretty well-known company, I'm really excited about BitPay. So basically, BitPay is a leading global Bitcoin service provider. So basically, if you want to make a payment using Bitcoin, BitPay has the technology to make that happen. So basically, Bitcoin can be used as an investment, but it can also be used for transactions, and BitPay is making that possible. They're helping facilitate cross-border transactions. So basically, if somebody in Asia wanted to send a payment to their family in the United States, usually there's a middleman involved and there are high transaction fees and all of that. But if you wanted to make that payment using Bitcoin, then BitPay actually makes that possible. They make it fast. They make the fees affordable. So that's just one way BitPay is kind of breaking the boundaries in the crypto space. They're actually making Bitcoin transactions possible. So I'm really excited about BitPay. They've just raised, I think it was $40 million in their second round of funding from major investors. So they're doing quite well. And I see a lot of potential in them, particularly because they're focused on cross-border payments with cryptocurrency, which is a huge use case for crypto right now.
Okay, all right. Is there another one? Well, just on to that point, I do want to point out that BitMinutes, does make a transfer to people back home to other countries easy too. So I'm glad to see that there are a lot of people playing in that space, because it needs to be easier. My goodness, it costs so much money to send money back home to people from the developing world, and it's just there's much better way to do that. So I'm thrilled to see competition. I believe in competition; it's a good thing. So what else are there?
Yeah.
Are there other companies that are exciting you with their ability to transform the world?
Yeah, definitely. So another company that I've written about a few times that's pretty interesting. So there's now a form of cryptocurrency called stable coins. And I've written about Trust Token a few times. They have this stable coin. It's called True USD. And basically what a stable coin is, it's a stable cryptocurrency. It's also known as the holy grail of cryptocurrencies. And True USD is a stable coin that is paired to the US dollar, meaning one True USD token is equal to the US dollar. It's kind of like Tether, but for those of you who are familiar with Tether, there were some issues with audits, and Tether was being super private about how much money they actually had to back their stablecoin. But Trust Token, the company, is very public. They're constantly posting updates on their blog about how much money they have in escrow. That's equivalent to the amount of stable coins, their True USD, that they've created. And the thing with stable coins is that they can be used as a store of value and a unit of exchange. So you can invest in stable coins, but most importantly, actually use them in the real world. And they're paired with assets that have value, like fiat currencies, like the US dollar, for instance. So Trust Token and their True USD stablecoin is really exciting right now. Stablecoins they're going to start making headlines more, I think.
You know, the first time I heard that term, stable cryptocurrencies, I definitely thought that was what is that word whenever it's the two don't go together?
Oxymoron?
Yeah, it's an oxymoron.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right,
That's exactly what I thought.
It's weird,
So,
but it's great. It's a good concept.
yeah, I tell you, you got to have a real roller coaster. You've had to have a I've had to have a real roller coaster philosophy in the past few years. Watch it go up and down, up and down, and people get so excited about it. I don't even look at it much. I'm like, I'm hanging on, and I know that it's going to be that these cryptos are going to be good in the long term. So that's my philosophy. But I appreciate that.
Right.
Okay, that's really cool. Speaking of some of your other interviews and such, I heard you interview and I read your article on Forbes about Tim Draper, who is one of BitMinutes' very first investors and one of our advisors. And so, you had some really exciting things to share there about what Tim had to say. Anything you'd like to share from that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'd say out of all of the people I've interviewed, Tim Draper was the most exciting. And not only that, but after the interview, I left really wanting to own Bitcoin. I mean, so I actually don't own any cryptocurrency right now. And a lot of that is because it's so volatile. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'd probably start freaking out when Bitcoin is 20,000, then when it's 3. But after talking to Tim Draper, I was like, I really believe in Bitcoin. And that's because Tim, first of all, he's made it clear that Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by the year 2022. That's his prediction, and I believe him. He predicted, I think, back in 2014 that Bitcoin would hit 10,000 in 3 years, and it did. So that's an interesting prediction. And I believe that it will actually be true. So we'll see in the next 4 years what happens. Tim also said that he believes cryptocurrencies will replace fiat currencies in the next 5 years. So fiat currencies, that's like the US dollar, the euro. Soon everybody will be able to use their phone, their digital wallets, whatever, to make payments with cryptocurrency. So that was another insight he shared with me. And he's also a big believer in the impact of blockchain technology. He says that it's bigger than the internet, and that's because it can be used to, cross-border payments. But basically, there's so many people in this world who are unbanked, meaning they don't have a bank, and cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology can actually help them. That gives them a chance to have a currency that they can use all over the world without having to be tied down to a bank. So we could really see a lot of transformation with blockchain in crypto, and Tim is a big believer in that, and that's why he invested early on in Bitcoin, and he really believes in it. So the insights he shared were very, very, very good.
Oh, yeah. You guys, if you didn't hear that already, if you're a podcast listener, check out the Bad Crypto podcast, because that's where, and find that Tim Draper interview. It was really terrific, as well as her article on Forbes might be a quicker read for you. So you can find that and just, do a search of
Forbes.
What's that?
It's on the front page, like front and center. It's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Forbes Digital Money, yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. That's really great. Well, hey, you guys, we have a few more. I have a few more questions for Rachel, and I haven't seen any coming in from you guys. But if you have a question, please put it down below, right below. No charge today. It's free today. I negotiated with Facebook. I asked Mark, and he said no charge for comments today. So just put them down below. It's gonna be just fine. So let us know. Go ahead and press that share button and share it with others too. That's good, because you want people to know what you're learning about crypto and blockchain and all these fantastic technologies that are going to make the world a better place. All right, so let's see. On my list, hey, what do you think is one of the biggest hurdles for widespread adoption of blockchain technologies?
Yeah, so I think, well, first of all, I've been writing about tech for a number of years now, which is actually how I got involved with blockchain technology in the first place. But anyways, I think when you're adopting a new technology, it's always a hurdle because it's a new technology. It's kind of like the internet. When the internet first came about, people were probably questioning that, like, ooh, what is the internet? How does this work? So I think people are kind of looking at blockchain technology that way, and they're thinking, how am I even going to implement this in my business? It's decentralized. There's no central authority. It's completely based on trust. How is that going to work? So I think, just figuring out those aspects on how to implement blockchain, that's a hurdle. And then another hurdle for implementation of the blockchain is cryptocurrencies. So there's currently a lot of speculation around regulation and questions on how to regulate the use of cryptocurrency. And I think we need to get regulations in place also before people can start really using cryptocurrencies for good. And by that, I mean for cross-border payments and all of that. And obviously, cryptocurrencies work on the blockchain. So I think regulation and understanding how to implement blockchain technology for businesses, those are some hurdles that really need to get worked out before we can see widespread adoption of this technology.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on some of that. I'm not big on regulation. I think a big plus about cryptos and blockchain technology is the lack of regulation. But there, some like vanilla, some like chocolate, and we'll see what happens. I think in the long run, there's probably going to be sort of a mix of the two. Is my thought, and it depends on what country you're in, of course. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to learn more about blockchain technology besides plugging into your podcast and reading your articles? What other things could people do? What do you think is smart?
Yeah. So honestly, I mean, and it's going to sound kind of boring, but people who really want to know about blockchain and how it's being used in the real world and its potential, you should read white papers. Just go onto a website like, BitPay, for instance, or BitMinutes, actually, right? BitMinutes. And usually the white paper is listed on the website where you can download the white paper and read the white paper. And a lot of the times, once you read more and more white papers, it really starts to make sense. Before I write an article, I like to read white papers. I like to do the research because I need to understand what I'm writing about. So, read articles, read, Forbes, Bitcoin Magazine, CoinDesk, all of those, read white papers, read books, go to meetups, talk to people who are in the space, and you'll start to learn. Even now, you don't need to have any knowledge. Just start reading. And I think that's the best way to learn about it. But really, the white papers are very helpful.
Okay, great. Yeah, I agree. And I must say that the thought of reading white papers was not very appealing to me. But the more I've read, the more I am getting used to kind of the heart of it, getting to the heart of what's there. And some of them have a lot of really helpful graphs. And you guys that are generating white papers, I'll tell you, it's the old, an image speaks 1,000 words. So if you can put an image in there that explains your concept, I think you're going to help a lot of people understand it. So that's good.
Yes, images are good.
Well, Rachel, as we wrap up here, what's the best way for people to keep in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the best way, it's on social media. I'm usually always online. LinkedIn is good. You can just type my name in, send me a request. Twitter is probably the best way. Just send me a tweet. I'm very responsive. I reply most of the time. You can send me a direct message, ask me questions, follow me. And just engage with me on social media. And my Twitter handle is @RachelWolf00. And you can find me on LinkedIn just by typing in my name.
Hey, yeah, you guys, if somebody could put that in the comments down below, that would be fantastic. @RachelWolf00. That would be great. Well, let's wrap it up here today. How exciting is this? Our very first episode of Women for a Better World, the worldwide global initiative of BitMinutes. I'd like to thank our sponsor and co-creator of this, BitMinutes, and for the opportunity to share Rachel's brilliance with the world and to share how we are changing the world here at BitMinutes to help you and to help everyone, lift people up out of poverty. There's that mom in Mumbai who really needs to buy some more beads for the jewelry she wants to sell on the street corner or out of her home. And how's she going to get access to the money? Well, BitMinutes is going to make it possible to get that money that's currently locked up inside the phone, to get that out. And I can't wait to share more of that with you and with others. If you are at any of the crypto conferences, we're going to some of those. And so look around for us, see if we're a sponsor, see if we're there. I will be at the Women on Blockchain event coming up this very Sunday. So if you're there, please let me know, look for me and put in the comments below. So I'll be sure to look for you. We are excited about what we're doing at BitMinutes. If you're excited about it too, please press the share button, share it with your friends, leave a comment, and let people know. You can find out more about what we're doing at BitMinutes and we're right in the middle of an ICO. So it's a really exciting time over there right now. So please share it. We are working hard to bring more peace and prosperity to the world. And you can help with that. You can help by sharing the information. You can help by, if you want to make any sort of purchases or whatever. I'm not giving investment advice, that's for sure. But, whatever makes sense for you, talk to your investment advisor, and hopefully BitMinutes, all these bit things, they just all run together sometimes, don't they? So BitMinutes.com, that's the place to be. So BitMinutes, a better crypto for a better world. Thank you again for joining us today.